So, you believe me about this too? Okay, cool, so there are a bunch of them, but don't you get tired of just like rolling dice? I mean, 88,000 games about... No, I mean, you can break down a board game into different themes, and you could have a lot of games with similar themes. You could break them down into different mechanics, like we were talking about rolling and moving. Most of us are used to this mechanic, and this is what we think of when we think about board games. If you ask somebody, design a board game right now, they'll probably draw a grid, snakes and ladders style, and put numbers on it, and you roll a die and you move. That's one out of like dozens of different mechanics that people use. I'm always impressed when somebody comes out with some new mechanic, some new clever idea of how to move cardboard and plastic and wood and create this puzzle and this engaging activity. Some snooty people look down on dice rolling and look down on dice on the whole. I don't care for dice roll and move games like Monopoly that much, but I do like dice, and there are a lot of ways that they can be used. For instance, in one of my favorite games, Alien Frontiers, the dice represent spaceships, and when you roll your dice, it represents different places that spaceship can dock. And then you put it down there, and a bunch of stuff happens, and different combinations will work in different ways. Their entire books, in fact, Rainer Knizia wrote an entire book just about different ways to use dice. That's just one material. Components are wide. There are tiles, there are cards, there are different boards that you could have, there are miniatures. There are so many different things that can fit into a board game box, and people put them, and I keep being surprised at the new ideas that people come up with. But no, they're not all the same. I mean, just take a look over here. Look at all these games that we have. I mean, there's just one shelf. I don't even keep all the games in board at home because it just doesn't make sense to keep them all. Or if you're thinking about how components can be different, Soulkin. I just opened Soulkin on our Instagram, and the gears move, and everybody's so excited, and people coming to play it on Thursday. And probably the most impressive game to me so far is a game called Chinatown, in terms of standing out as really breaking the idea of what a board game can be. There's a part in the rulebook that literally just says, now anything goes. This is a trading game, a game where everybody has a bunch of stuff, nothing has an innate value, but things are obviously valuable to one person, more valuable to one person than another. So you sit down here and you get some stuff and you're like, I think you want this. And you're like, I don't want this. And you're like, no, you do. Take a look at the board. And you do take a look at the board. And then you're like, what do you want from me? I say, you have nothing that I want, but you have something that she wants. How about you organize a trade with her? And then I have something she wants. And then we'll trade over there. And then afterwards, this one put it over there, and then I'll make a net gain of this much, and just put it into my calculator. It's a lot. It's so interesting. People get to be shouting, and sometimes feelings get hurt because people are like, how could you not give that to me? And there's such a grand sense of creative opportunities for how to trade. There are a lot of options. There are a lot of different vibes and feelings and mechanics. They challenge different parts of your brain. They could be funny, they could be serious, they could be sad. There's some really emotive, touching board games, you know. And people, these designers, they do all of these things with just pieces of usually recycled cardboard and plastic and wood, and wow.
Oh no! Hey, you girl in the tight up skirt, you make me head swell.